The Code of Ethics plays a critical role in our department university libraries. First, at the macro level, where the library is in charge of providing information, but in a professional manner, we are about access to information, and about academic freedom and intellectual freedom as well. So uh, we have the certain code of ethics that we're bound by. It's morally right to do this, provide information, right to privacy, and other issues. At the micro level, it's about providing information for scholarly communication in an ethical manner. Ethics is central, as dealing with the scholarly communication. Ethics is central in how we operate. Our role is to provide access to use and dissemination of information in an ethical manner. And so we have got this teaching and research role, and ethics is central in both roles, in teaching and in research. Teach students how to access and use information in an ethical manner. That involves issues like plagiarism, give authorship, and all that. And being an institution with students from all over the world, ethical issues are viewed differently. And so in that teaching role, we are there. How do we disseminate information? At the end of the day, they have to write papers. They have to write papers term papers for publication, and the ethical principles that guides that. So those are some of the things which we teach students, and also others how to use it, students and members of our community. So ethics plays a really central role. The Ethics Center would play a very central role because they're like a hub. They should be able to organize conferences for the community. They have an ear to the ground on issues surrounding scholarly ethics. And if there are any issues around those areas, they'll be the first to highlight it. They'll bring it up to departments. They'll organize conferences, workshops, seminars around those issues. And so the educational aspect of it is very, very important. They also play the role of vanguard on campus. If there are ethical issues, they should be able to bring this, and through conferences, bringing in speakers from outside, bringing internal speakers, they kind of educate the community about issues of ethics. These are moral issues that are pretty important, and an ethical center would play a central role in that. I think ethics is critical in everything we do. Is it morally right to do this? Some of the problems that we have in the world is because of ethics. We are living in a globalized world right now. It's not only commerce, it's not only education, but the free movement of goods and people brings around issues of ethics. There are communities that have a different perspective by virtue of their own interest. And so in a globalized community, people have to work in tandem. There are certain rules that would guide their operation, whether it's in business, whether it's in education, whether it's in politics. I think ethics is central. And once we start having these rules that bind people all over, and that this common code of principles that people can adhere to, I think doing business would be much more better for the common man or the common people, or kind of have a level playing field where people can have a fair share, and things will be done in an equitable manner, or in a way that will not take advantage of others who are less endowed. So in a global community, there is need for that. We talk about cultural competency, which is needed in the world. Understanding cultural competency also means understanding people's perception about certain things and leveraging that so that ethical things can be done in an ethical manner in the world. Business, politics, and generally management. It benefited me greatly. First, the opportunity to travel and share knowledge with like-minded people out there, but also having the opportunity to interact with programs organized by the Ethics Center has opened my mind to quite a number of things that are on, and has opened the doors to collaboration with colleagues across campus. In this era of interdisciplinary study, ethics cuts across, whether it's in the STEM, whether it's in medicine, whether it is in business. So we can find common ground, and the support of the Ethics Center has opened a world of opportunities and a world of collaboration, not only within within the community, but also within the scholar research community in the United States and also internationally. Yeah, through the support of the Ethics Center, I was able to attend the 24th Annual Cameroon Bioscience Society Conference. It's a conference that brings together people from the Central African region, especially Cameroon, to share ideas on bioscience and its involvement. The theme of the conference was Emergence, Cameroon's Bioscience and Emergence in 2035. It was an opportunity to get to meet fellow researchers from around the world. We had participants from Germany, from the United States, from other African countries, but to share knowledge. And what stood out for me was, first, English as a language of science. For a predominantly French-speaking country, you could see the emergence of English as a language of communication in science, which is a little paradoxical based on what is going on in the country politically right now. But secondly, you could see that ethics was at the nexus of all what was going on. In fact, the theme of my paper was ethics and soft skills for the emerging librarian, for the emerging scientist. I'm a librarian and everything revolves around being a librarian. But it generated a lot of interest, and coming from out of the country, I had the liberty to talk about certain things and bring up issues which others internally would not bring it out of fear of repression from within. But it did generate discussions, and it all centers around ethics, scholarly ethics, scientific ethics, and most importantly, political ethics. So it was a great place to meet. I've started receiving emails and invitations even from others who were there, brought spotlight on the Ethics Center, and they want to collaborate with the Ethics Center to develop programs along those lines in other institutions. So I think it was a great opportunity for me to reach out, but also a great outreach opportunity for Texas Tech, because I'm putting our institution out there on the map, and people are learning what we're doing here and trying to embrace that and inculcate that and implement that in their own settings. It is beautiful to get emails talking about what is the center doing, how can we set up one, what do we need, and stuff like that. So to me, it was a great opportunity, and I'm really, really thankful for the support from the Ethics Center and also the Office of International Affairs, and of course my department, the University Libraries, that has been very, very supportive in this endeavor.